I want you guys to challenge the heck out of me today. Obviously you're here because either you've heard what I've had to say and like it, because if you didn't like it, you probably wouldn't spend your money and time to come here. So you think it's going to help. But I have one day to really reprogram your way of thinking of how to swing a golf club. Okay? That's not easy to do. Okay? So the good thing is we're going to be in touch for the next year helping you along this path. Okay? Because for an example, this morning with Brendan, I just blew up his world. What do you mean I can't do it just this way? Well, you've moved beyond this point. We got to get to the next point. Okay.
As a YouTube guy, you know, I saw the tip. It worked for me, and I crushed it, overdid it. So you got to know the point where, hey, I've conquered that. Time to move on.
If I say, okay, I need you guys to go ahead and hammer a nail in, what would you tell a person to do?
Get down.
Okay. Just pass it along. Yeah. So now the nail is this way. Here's the wall. You're going to put it into you got to hammer the nail into the wall. Okay.
Get through.
Okay.
Get through. Don't stop.
Okay. Don't stop. What would you tell a kid never used a hammer before? You stuck a nail in the wall. What would you do, Mike?
First thing, they stay in school.
Correct. That's a good thing.
And I guess I try to use my bigger muscles rather than my wrist.
Okay, but why are you holding the hammer in your hands, which are the smaller muscles? Why didn't you put the hammer underneath your armpit, where the bigger muscles are? That's what you just said, Mike.
I know. But I guess I'm thinking this would be more like a big thing.
It's a hammer. It's right there. It's a rubber mallet, so it's not technically a hammer. Okay. How come you're not saying anything? Yeah, exactly. You don't need to say anything. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to videotape your swings, but I do kind of want you guys to understand a little bit about why I do what I do. And I love that some people said nothing. You wouldn't tell us anybody to do it. Just here, watch this. We're just going to do this. And then you hand it to them. Oh, and you maybe they grab it the wrong way. And then, well, let's find a better way. So that is called implicit learning. We want to basically learn how to hammer, learn how to ride a bike, learn how to swing a golf club without thinking too much. Now, what I have to do with you today maybe is rewire this to get you applying the right thing. But this hammering motion right here is exactly how the golf club is designed. Okay, we're going to look at what's the most efficient way to use your body. Okay, the hips don't rotate. We don't want the hips to rotate. From S1 to L1, they're not designed to rotate. Very minimal amount of rotation, minimal amount of flexion. They're the strongest part. So if the foundation on your house is moving, how well is that house going to hold up? Okay, it's got to be strong. There can be some movement, but it's got to be strong. So when there is movement, but it's a different type of movement, and we're going to get into how the hips actually are working this way. We don't want to rotate. We don't want to blow out L4 and L5 disc, because it will. There's the sciatica down to S1. Okay? So if you're using your hips to create this power and the speed in the swing, it won't work. That's the reason why you run into back problems. This club, when I now bring it into play and use it as the hammer, if I want to hit the ball straight, there's a very specific alignment that this club's got to make through the ball. It doesn't matter who's doing it. Doesn't matter if I'm doing it left-handed club. This motion right here is all got to be within 3 degrees, positive and negative, which is outside and inside, and the face has got to be perpendicular in order to hit the ball straight. Those are physics. I didn't make it up. Whoever designed the club, it's flat face, that's how it works. It's how the club is designed. Whether it's a sand wedge, whether it's 3-iron, and even into the driver. Some of that will feel a little bit different when we do drivers more this afternoon. We're going to start out with irons. I want you to come with me and tell me, when we get together on the video, what is it that you want to see change? What type of ball flight do you want? Because what I want to do is teach you, there's a couple different ways of doing it, but have you have one swing and produce all ball flight windows. Okay, I'm going to show you how the body is designed to move. What's more effective, what's not effective. Okay, upper body does rotate some. Lower body is more of a posting up type of movement. There is some rotation, but we don't think about it as rotation. Actually, what are you feeling it? Lower body.
Oh, I mean, it's very. I mean, I feel like it's very similar to sprinting, to running, to walking, where it's that combination of, you know, I don't get too sciencey, but that force coupling.
That's science, man. That's science.
You know, like one side is going this way, and again, you're going to see. I try to talk. He talks all the science stuff, and I try to talk more in the feels, where it's those things are working together in opposing directions, and that's what creates that.
So,
Or
yeah.
what it looks like.
So I've tried to play down in Florida back coming out of college, and I'm originally from Michigan, played junior college up there, state champions up there, and went to nationals, all regional, all that, blah, blah, blah. More instruction I took, the worse I got. It's like that did not make sense.
Anybody else feel like that?
Okay, so now here you got me coming in saying more. But actually, it's actually to reprogram it, to reorganize it. So I've spent 20-some years, and then I decided to go back to school because when I realized when I was at Mississippi State running the golf course, and I started doing research with the kinesiology department, we started looking at muscle activations, we started looking at motor control. I'll show you my book that I work off of. I don't read Golf Digest, Golf magazines. There's nothing good in there. Maybe, but
Only when I'm there.
but you never mentioned my name. So maybe this week.
I'm a self-made man. It's all me, baby.
Yeah. Never mind. Let's go. So you all may have different thoughts, but here's the thing: how much effort do your best shots take? How much effort does the poor shots take? That's universal. I've had an opportunity to be a little bit around the world. That is universal. That's awesome. So what did you do different? That's why you're here. So you've all hit perfect shots. What is it that you did? And it's real simple. You coordinated the outside with the inside. And then how do we do that? What's more efficient? Now, I got to make sure we'll use just trail arm. We got to come up with common terms. Trail arm for lefty will be left. Trail arm for righty will be right. These are your throwing arms. These are your strong arms. If this controls it, you're going to be more efficient with it. And it's a simple analogy. We're by an airport, so this is perfect. So, if you ever seen any of the airplanes, Air Force or Navy that does some of the, like down in my area, the Blue Angels are down there. They practice down on the Gulf Coast. I mean, those guys are just doing crazy stunts, and they're like this. They're like stuck together. But if I'm banking right or banking left, what's the relative speed of the outside plane to the inside? Has to be faster. So now what question I have for all of you is what makes this outside, this golf club, move faster?
What do you guys think?
Well, my hands hold on to it. So people will say rotation, people will say big muscles, which are somewhat correct. It's horizontal adduction. Now what is that? That. That's a hammer. This is horizontal adduction, horizontal adduction. Dr. Ferdinand's, Sydney, Australia, just did some research. 85% of the speed comes there. I knew that, but I just needed someone to give me a number. I knew it was 85 because and we'll do some testing this afternoon, hitting balls feet together or the flamingo drill compared to your regular stance, and we'll see what those numbers are on the launch monitor. They've always shown up that way. I just now know, being on the academic side, is how to validate all that and how to research that. So challenge me with all your questions. Tell me I'm wrong. Let's get you thinking, because obviously you're here because you want to change. And let's talk about it, okay? Because I can hit the ball pretty well. I'm trying to get these guys to hit, and he hits the ball real fast. So one thing I want you to realize is the faster you go, okay, the better that machine has to be. And the thing about it, though, when you take a complex machine as the human body is, okay, sometimes simple analogies don't work. One thing doesn't work for the whole system. And so there's going to be a couple things. So that's when we're going to coordinate the inside with the outside. You need to walk out of here today, and my goal is actually by lunch, to know what to do. not necessarily do it, but you need to know by the end of today that this is what I need to do, and if I do it, I hit the ball the way I want to hit the ball. And if you don't do it soon after lunch, you got to come and grab me and let me know, because I'm not moving to California permanently, can't afford the taxes out here. But I like it out here and would love to come back, but I want, you know, we can do this online. I need to know. You're not gonna hurt my feeling, man. I'm not getting this. This doesn't make sense. This is BS.
One little note from me, just on that comment of, you know, the outside moving inside. The big feel that I have, that I think really kind of clicked with me in my head, is that, you know, obviously with fitness, workouts, all that stuff, I can move my body faster, but that's not moving the club faster. Like, obviously my goals are a little different than yours, but that's with all the talking about, you know, obviously the arm controlling it and all that, that moving the body faster is not going to create more club speed or more consistency or anything like that. It actually slows me down. But that was kind of what clicked in my head, was trying to move the body faster doesn't necessarily move your tool faster. I want to move that tool that I'm using faster.
These are independent from the rest of the body. And I'm not going to dance because it's really ugly. Okay? I'm glad no one got into ground reaction forces. I'm glad you all didn't go that way. C7 was the closest thing I'm going. Okay, hold on. Let's go. 1, 2. Okay. Questions before we get started?
I think I missed the beginning, and I watched some of your videos. So, just from your perspective,
Yeah.
You went around the country. I watched all your stuff.
Yeah.
And then, of all the instruction, you felt this gentleman.
I said that at our first school, actually, and thanks for reminding me. Yeah, so I went around the country. I saw, you know, Monty, Malaska, Bobby Lopez, and I saw some other guys you guys didn't see on video that basically like weren't ready for prime time, maybe. So, but yeah, I saw a lot of instructors, and the difference with Tony's stuff is that I can get this feel is from here to the ball. That's the difference. Other guys were talking about this similar kind of the source of power stuff where, you know, it's a arm kind of led thing. Although the huge difference that I have with Tony's stuff is this feeling of freedom I have down to the ball, and I don't have too much stuff to do. So and just Tony is, the other guys always say like the upper body will provide more power. Some of the other guys that I did that product with or program with, but there's always a bunch of other caveats with it. Tony is completely unapologetic about, hey, so much of the power, most of it, is coming from this, that let's let this run the show and let's all this, you know, go 100% with it.
So it's one of those things that it takes anywhere from 150 to 300 milliseconds for you to receive some information, do some, process it, and then respond to that. Downswing's 250 milliseconds. If this goes, now what do I do?
Yeah, once basically you've made a little bit of your transition,
It's over with.
Watching the ball fly.
Yeah.
This other stuff is not where you give yourself direction. And that's kind of where I think, you know, reactionary. You know, if you're playing basketball or something, you're just reacting to it. Golf, kind of like the balance beam, is difficult because you initiate you know, nothing happens until you go. So you gotta force yourself to make it reactionary.
And you're not going to hurt my feelings. Challenge me with it. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm not going to hurt my feelings. I know what's right. That's why I do it with these guys. Because I need to know what's going in your head, what you're thinking about. Okay? Because even if we come up with something goofy and it helps you, then that's fine. And I've had that with some people. Okay? We may have to go a little stronger grip versus neutral. Maybe we have to go a little weaker. Let's make you better players.